everybody. Thank you for joining us in this afternoon's event. I'm Samuel, the General Manager of Aventis Graduate School today. Okay, so this is a very exclusive event just focusing for our HR, counseling and psychology family of students. Alright, so today we have with us Dr. Christopher Fong, who is obviously a very familiar face with all of you, but he is also the principal consultant for Aventis Wellness. Actually, Aventis Wellness was given birth through the feedback from the students. Okay, we want to make sure that your journey does not end with us after you graduate. In fact, it must start a new chapter. And this was how wellness came about. Right? So let me just share with you very quickly. I think the focus of today's event is really on how we can learn and grow together and to identify an opportunity for you all as our students and learners to grow together as a community. Alright, so just a quick overview. As you can see, alumni forms a very important overview of the whole ecosystem. Without alumni, we can't have an ecosystem. Alright, so we just want to share briefly in today's event that after you graduate, there are many opportunities that we can grow together and learn from one another, and that's also to share about the establishment of Aventis Wellness. So first and foremost, I think you can explore joining us as trainers, part-time adjunct faculties, contributing back to the ecosystem. For those that have graduated from the MEICT, they have also come on board to be our therapists. Alright, and it provides a very conducive environment because we've got counseling rooms available at level 3 where they can do their counseling. We provide the infrastructure and administrative support for a lot of our therapists. Alright, we also have a very strong referral and reward program. So for any of y'all, if you have got very friends or colleagues that are interested to join our program, please kindly refer to us. Okay, we've got maybe $400 for the master's program, up to $1,000 for the doctorate program. So we have a very strong referral program. But again, as I said, fundamentally, your experience must be positive with that. Alright, so I think this is one part. Last but not least, also we have the corporate training program where we actually provide a lot of short courses and training. So as I said, we can onboard you as trainers. But likewise, if you are a senior executive within your organization that's exploring training or EAP services, please do consider us. We'll do our best to service you, and of course, being our alumni will provide you with a much more attractive rate as compared to the general public. Alright? Alright, so let's zoom right into today's agenda. We'll start off with Dr. Christopher Fong opening address, and then follow briefly by a bit of sharing about Aventis Wellness and how we can grow together as a community. That will be spearheaded by Mr. Jeremy Ho, our EAP specialist. And then of course, the most important part, we'll break for lunch, and then I think it's good time for you all to network and exchange information, alright? Okay, so this Dr. Christopher Fong, I think needs no introduction, right? I think besides being the principal consultant for Aventis Wellness, he also has taught many of you in different modules, especially in HR counseling and psychology. For those, obviously, that are familiar with him, are aware that he's an award-winning organizational psychologist. He is also a conductor before joining academia work. He was a consultant, and then now more importantly, an author. So I think today he's very happy, to launch this book. And also, without further ado, let's as we watch a lot of TikTok, we're like, let's skip to the good part, right? So let's welcome Dr. Christopher Fong.
I think enough introduction. I think it's all about the book. Okay, the book was an inspiration because of all of you, actually, really. Not only that, it's for the 20 years of being a counselor. All right. When I was doing employee assistance program, that's for EAP. All right. I deal with a lot of corporate clients. Okay, so I become like their in-house counselor, psychologist for banking, finance, oil and gas, biopharma, IT companies. So some of the big MNCs like Marina Bay Financial Center, the blue building. Every floor is my client. Okay. Now, what do these employees or people come and see me for basically? Okay. If I could put it, if I curate all my cases together, people come to see me only for 4 things. Okay, not their boyfriends. Right? Basically, it's about family issues, children issues, old folks issues, okay, and also about their family issues. And then there are financial issues. You'll be very surprised, okay? Especially those people who are working in banking and finance, they are bankers with a lot of financial issues. Surprising, right? Okay. Then I've also deal with people with future, which is a lot. Okay. That, as you know, Singapore is moving very progressively. Many jobs are redundant. So future, it means the careers, the future of work. All right. Right now, currently, I help a lot with WSG. I collaborate with them with public workshops, dealing with about almost 120,000 PMEs who have lost their jobs. Okay, so helping them to look for jobs, but more important is not looking for jobs, it's looking at their skills. Okay, we're moving to a skill-centric type of industry, and some of the skills are not relevant anymore. Okay, and this is where they have a challenge to bring across to another industry. Okay, so this is where I come into the picture and to help them. Last but not least is fitness. Fitness here represents three things: the biological. Okay, some of them have been diagnosed with some issues and all that, psychological issues and emotional issues. So curating, referencing 4 human top problems, the 4 F's: family, finances, future, fitness. Okay, I have curated all my case notes. All right. In total, I look young, right? I almost have done about 25,000 cases. Clinical cases, okay, or people have come and see me. I mean, I spent being in the field, in the space of employee assistance for almost 17 years. 17 years, okay, you're under United Healthcare. Just a bit of my history, okay, before being, I think many of you know, before being a psychologist, counselor, I was a symphony orchestra conductor, okay, and then I switched career, okay, being a clinical, and then now I switched to become a consultant. Alright, and very interesting, when I switch, right, I have to face these 4 issues, the 4 F issues. Okay, why? Because underpinning is money issues. Alright, so I mean, we're very practical in Singapore. Now, so I came out this book. Alright, this book is because you know in counseling psychology, yeah, though it's an art, but I need to make it into a science because it has to be measured. Alright, so what came up from this book was my doctoral thesis in 2015, okay, where this becomes an innovation of my doctoral thesis. Okay, the thesis is just a theory, but don't know how to come out an innovation, so this became the innovation. Alright, now the intent of coming this book mainly, of course, was to help from the number of cases I see, okay, and then the other one is to help the counselors, the psychologists, the social workers, okay? Because when they see the client, I'm sure some of you are in the profession, you ask a lot of questions. And you only got 1 hour only. So this thing only gives you only 16 questions, okay? So it's like finding a needle in a haystack. With the 16 questions here, okay, you no need, I can tell you from the 16 questions, you can find the problem of the client within 15 minutes. Okay, so and then it took many years to build the algorithms behind it. Many years, because it's not easy. I have to do it from a Singapore context. Now, if you were to use this in other countries, one of the things here people may not understand what is hawker center. Yeah, they know it's hawker center. So I have to contextualize this from a Singapore context. My next book will be more on a global context. I have to think from a global perspective. I cannot think a Singapore context because certain language is very local. Very local, okay, that's one. Number 2, this will go digital. They'll become an app, all right. Number 3, it will be, I'm going to train people to be certified. So this becomes a toolbox for you as a counselor, as a coach, okay, as a therapist. At least now you have a tool, okay. Then just go in and ask so many questions. So now become like a risk assessment. 16 questions, you know the problems already. Do you think it's very good like that? It saves a lot of time. Okay. Now, when you look at the book, okay, when I look at finances, these are some of the issues which people face. Now, as a counselor, as a therapist, some areas here you may not know how to fix. Like finances, I'm not a financial person, but if there's problems with the finances, farm it out to some financial advisor. Okay. Now, if it's a family, I believe you can do. If not, then you may want to farm out to a family therapist. Okay. If it's a fitness, Who do you farm it to? Trainers, physical trainer, okay? Go more massage lah. Okay? Alright, future, go and see a career coach. Alright? So when you have problems inside here, anything that is minuses here, go and seek help. Okay? So this really helps to know the pain points of your client. Alright? Especially when the minuses are. Alright? Now, if it's a -3, and if any of the -3 is very severe, it has been fixed immediately already. Okay, I don't want to go through your work and me lah. Okay, now the book is not about my life. My life is dysfunctional enough already. Okay, if I write my book, I think I need many versions. Okay, one book not enough. Supposed to in some more. Okay, this book was just to give you a summary in the first few pages of where I came from my whole life. Okay, and why I came up with this inventory. Yeah. Okay, so it's to help the people in the profession, to help yourself. It's not about my life, it's about your life. Where are you currently in? Now, the other thing is also when I'm coaching coaches, career coaches, coaches are actually coaching people to reach their goals. But many people, when reaching upon their goal, don't achieve it. Okay, so there was a step missing here. Now, if you have current problems in your life, there is no way you're going to reach your goal. You need to fix your current problem first. Okay, you cannot just go and then here you got money problem here. Okay, because that money problem is going to go on and on and on. So the test helps you to see what's your current issue and how your current issue help you to mitigate going forward. You have to solve your problem now, not bring the problem over there and fix. Fix the problem now. Then down there it's easier. Then you can roughly calibrate what to fix, what not to fix. Okay. Now, if you have anything which is minus currently in your life, right? I can tell you it's very hard for you to move. You need to fix your minuses first. Okay. All right. So that's what this book helps you to see. Yeah. Any question? There's an e-book. The e-book is only $10. The hard copy they just came out last week is $20. Very cheap, right? So don't buy one now, buy more. In the store got many more. No? Okay, alright.
I'll sign.
Yeah, I'll sign. I'll sign. Okay, alright. Okay, now to
Next. Yeah.
Okay, so next let me introduce Mr. Jeremy. So Jeremy actually was very instrumental, I think, for the MA ICP students in helping in the placement. So he was also the co-founder of several mobile apps to provide mental wellness chat. So without further ado, let me just introduce Jeremy to share with you all what are the opportunity that Aventis Wellness presents for all of you all. Alright, okay?
So if I stand here, can see? Cannot see? Never mind, I'll move around.
No lah,
Yeah, but anyways, right, thanks for joining, thanks for actually being here so early, some of y'all. So I just want to thank Dr. Chris also. I believe, right, his book, I don't have a book, nor is my hair as curly as him, but what I have, right, is a particular set of skills lah. Later I'll share lah. But just want to quickly share that I see many familiar faces. Thank you so much for joining. I am thankful to see MAICP students, alumni as well. I believe there is the HR people as well, and also psychology, MA side. So I believe I'll be sharing about the ecosystem. Just a very quick introduction. I've been in the social service for quite some time. If you want to get involved also, do feel free to connect me on LinkedIn, or we can actually trade contact as well. Later we'll have a QR code and then you can join the network. And yeah, I actually co-founded a anonymous text counseling app. It's called Something New. We have a lot of people in the social service as well as people who have masters in counseling, masters in psychology and other kind of training and expertise. They come on board this app, they provide anonymous counseling. The purpose of the app is actually to bridge clients, the public sector, to actually receive assurance, empathy and insight. So just want to do a quick introduction about what we are actually trying to do for Aventis. If you can see, it's like a tripartite. Now we actually started a subsidiary. Alright, January this year we kickstarted Aventis Wellness, long form Aventis Center for Wellness and Organizational Side. Alright, so what do we do? Just now Dr. Chris mentioned something, 3 letters, EAP. Alright, so EAP actually stands for Employee Assistance Program. Okay, so actually employee assistance program, right, it's actually just an employee benefits program. Those HR people, you can actually resonate with this. You want to cultivate a good workplace culture, this is what usually they do. Alright, depends like, certain EAP providers provide different stuff. But I'll share what we actually provide and how you can get involved. Pretty simple. What we do is employee counseling. What we do is actually bespoke lunch talks and of course, corporate wellness training. Okay, so in employee counseling, what happens is that a corporate client actually reaches out to Aventis Wellness. We actually tell them like how many employees do you want to actually send to us for counseling. And then therefore we actually create an ecosystem whereby the people who graduated from the AICP course, people like Dipti, JT, right? And then other stuff that the second batch is going to graduate as well. We will actually provide them that platform, and with this ecosystem eventually we can actually allow our graduates to have more network is number one. Number two is also the exposure. Not just take a course, I was telling some individuals just now, not just take a course in AGS, take a workshop in ALG and then not get the exposure. So this is what we are trying to provide, this is what the ecosystem is trying to create. Alright, so far any questions? No, okay. This well-being survey by Aeon, very esteemed one, Dr. Chris shared to me. I believe I just wanted to share something. The sample size was actually 1,648 companies across 41 countries, alright, last year. This year's survey haven't come out yet, haven't done yet. Alright, so but last year's survey, right, it actually showed that the analysis revealed 4 important themes. So 4 important themes, right, number one, right, is actually well-being performance impacts company performance. It is actually quite self-explanatory. Company performance is at risk due to stress, burnout and anxiety. We can resonate with that. When individuals and employees have stress, burnout, anxiety, eventually their performance also decreases. Thirdly, well-being is more than programs. It is a people and performance strategy. Alright, and then lastly, of course, the future of work is flexible working styles and organizational resilience. Who doesn't like work from home? Who doesn't like that flexibility and then that autonomy? As an employer, as an employee, you want to trust your own workplace, and therefore EAP is meant to actually cultivate good workplace culture. So a quick question before we begin, and then before I spend 10 more minutes, and then eventually you can go for lunch and network. A quick question is, who know what recession is? Your opinion. Yeah, or your opinion. What recession is? Anybody? In your opinion, how do you define recession?
I mean, simply put, it would be going backwards.
Going backwards, yes. Any other definition? Any other opinions?
Depressed economy.
Depressed economy. Okay. Depressed as in depression and depressed. Yes. One more opinion? Perception. What do you feel recession is? When people talk about recession, wow, economy go down, stuff like that. Opportunities. Okay, nice. Opportunities regarding like lesser opportunities or more opportunities when a recession comes? More opportunities. Okay. Can take it that way also? Yeah. Okay, just a quick. In my opinion, I feel like recession is definitely an economic crisis as well. A crisis per se. And when crisis happens, it is actually proven to what sectors go up when crisis happens?
Wellness.
Counseling. So that's in the field of healthcare. You see the hospitals, the polyclinics, wow, long-term all. Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly share that yes, recession affects economy. Eventually, economy actually goes down. Singapore is one of the major cities in the world, actually contributing to economy in the US market as well. And when that happens, people like you guys are so important. Alright, HR people, interpersonality, counseling people, alright, therapeuticness, alright, and then the psych people, alright, psychology, psychiatry is also important. So thank you for being in this worthy cause. I just want to quickly share in the Asia Pacific region, according to the survey, diversity and inclusion, right? Inclusion meaning getting people included, getting people involved in this workplace culture, alright, are being addressed in this region, but not to the same extent compared to like Latin America, compared to Europe. Alright, but so Asia Pacific in general is actually trying to do their best efforts. Alright, they are going to garner social connections. They plan to actually offer more EAP, employee family outings and charity runs and walks. Right, you can see that companies sometimes they do CSR as well. Yeah. Okay, and then 1/4 of Asia Pacific participants, according to the survey, identified a lack of overall employee engagement in the organization as a barrier to address social well-being. So this whole topic, this whole reason why we do EAP as Aventis Wellness is because of social well-being. Alright, key benefits of EAP. EAP is actually proven to help businesses. In what area? They improve employees' mental well-being and morale. Alright, they create a positive workplace culture. This is number one. Improve trust and teamwork. and boost productivity, reduce turnover, and lastly, of course, discourage absenteeism and presenteeism. Basically, underworking and overworking behaviors from the human. Alright. Types of counseling. What do Aventis Wellness (AW) actually offer? We do online counseling, Zoom counseling, phone calls, face to face, and we have a mobile app that we just released. So if you can talk to like counselors who actually graduated from our program, people like Jess, Joey, if that rings a bell, right? Yeah, they have actually been doing counseling for us, and then they actually have been getting clients also in our corporate companies. And then they do it in all kind of forms. They even do it at level 3 office, which I'll show some pictures. This is the pictures. We have 3 counseling rooms, level 3. I believe some of y'all have been there, or some of y'all have seen the walkway around the area. We have 3 counseling rooms. Eventually, this is what we actually bring our corporate clientele. Sometimes they request a face-to-face counseling session. We do it here. Yeah. So if you are also an individual that you did masters in psych, you may want to have a career shift, you want to jump over, you want to explore counseling, right? You can actually get involved by actually scanning a QR code later. Okay. So popular wellness training, we also do workshops, right? Some popular wellness trainings are like positive workplace psychology. This one you all will know. Dr. Christopher always preach and teach about positive workplace culture, right? So this is his forte. Finding your ikigai, the Japan term for purpose. Yeah, it's very popular right now. Even other EAP providers are doing it. Thirdly, mindfulness at work, psychological first aid, PFA. I believe Anil Singh anchors that. Right, and then it's more like how to actually resonate with your peers and your colleagues, to take note of their behaviors, how you can offer that kind of peer support, colleague support. And lastly, anger, stress, and anxiety management. Very common, a very common workshop. Yeah. Okay, so what is our approach, right? As Aventis Wellness, as this whole ecosystem, very quickly, we try to advocate prevention and early detection. Alright, it's just like, unfortunately, it's just like cancer, right? You don't wait for stage 4 cancer, then you receive chemotherapy. The same way for mental health, you don't wait for your diagnosis, you don't wait for someone to really be severely, majorly depressed, then receive therapy. Alright, so in the way we actually advocate prevention and we advocate early detection. Alright, affordable EAP solution. If you look out there, if you see the market, Aventis Wellness is actually one of the most affordable EAP providers in Singapore currently. Alright, non-judgmental, safety, security, data-driven and measurable outcomes. Measurable outcomes are, if you search up, right, the 2 disadvantages of EAP. Alright, HR people, you guys would know that the 2 disadvantages of EAP, right, is actually number 1, utilization rate. Some companies, right, the employees, they will say like, I don't need, I got no problem. I don't face stress, I don't face burnout. What for I want to see a counselor? What for I want to talk my problems? Crazy, stigmatized. Alright, so eventually that is the utilization rate. Secondly, number 2 is basically communication. The EAP provider, how we communicate to your company, to your HR department, your awareness department, right? How we communicate transparency, your data. Of course, in an anonymous and professional way, an ethical way, because whatever happens in the counseling session, of course the HR will know. And that is why EAP is so effective, because why? Third party provider. Alright, if you recall, last time when we were all young, do you all go see your school counselor? Alright, your in-house counselor don't see, right? When you work in a hospital, they got their in-house counselor. Do you all see your in-house counselor? Hard to say lah, huh? Maybe some. Alright, if you do, that's good. You have an outlet. But EAP providers are third party and they resonate well with people who feel like, oh, okay, it's more safe. It's stigmatized, it's safer now. So I might want to actually approach that. Alright? And then we want to share what we do for corporate clientele. A bit similar to Great Place to Work at kind of movement. You guys kind of know that one? Yeah, they actually ask you to do a survey, then they actually tell your company, wow, a lot of people, the well-being very good, then they track your efficacy and your progress. What we do here is that we certify our corporate clientele with a badge called Certified Corporate Wellness Champion. It's a 1-year expiry date, it's a 1-year service agreement. Eventually we provide anything. What they need to do is actually they complete a well-being survey, we assess their well-being situation, we continue to track it anonymously and professionally, and we get them to commit to any program offered. Alright, any program means employee counseling, bespoke talks, or maybe even workshop training. Alright, workshop training by who? Our faculty members, our trainers. We have Jesslyn behind, we have Dr. Chris, we have Anil, we have so many others. Not only just in the term of wellness, but also in the terms of like other kind of profession, which ALG anchors. Alright, Aventis Learning Group. Okay, so just want to quickly share before we go for lunch and we network. We have launched the newest app Alright, of course, it's still, apps they require constant update. Do feel free to download later. This app is actually for individuals, right? If you have individuals that may require counseling, who may want to practice counseling or what, they can actually come here on this app. They can sign up on our platform. They can sign up on the website as well, and eventually they will receive, of course, not really counseling per se, because the app is just more for communication, to communicate easier with the client, with the counselor. All right. Eventually, don't need to use email lah. It actually offsets the seamlessness. All right. So anyways, the app also actually does allow the client to actually do daily journaling, anonymous journaling, which is an outlet, and of course micro learning, bite-sized psycho-educational content. Okay, so it kind of resonates with some people who like to actually understand CBT or understand other stuff. Yeah. And then lastly, of course, we have a SFBT, Solution Focused Brief Therapy, AI-powered chatbot. So you can try it out when you feel like, oh, you may require solutions, or you can tell your other friends that if you're not confident to actually console them or counsel them, you can tell them like, hey, why not you check out SFBT? Or you can check out something new also lah, if you all know the app. Okay, so eventually, can we all take out our phones before we go for lunch? This is how you're going to join a network. You can take a screenshot, you can actually save the QR code in your phone. And you can download the app here. It's a link tree lah. You'll see everything here. You'll see the whole framework and you'll see everything here. You can follow our LinkedIn. Once you follow our LinkedIn, you can follow my LinkedIn also. You can actually get connected to me as well. And then also, you can follow our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and then you can download our app. Both on both Android and Apple Store. Okay, 30 seconds more. Just feel free to look at the systems, get involved, and then another QR code I'll be showing is how you can actually join our network. Fun fact is that we actually do monthly webinars. Alright, every last Friday of the month, we actually get our counselors or our trainers or anybody in honestly, right, to actually to come up with a wellness related topic, and then we share it. Alright, so second QR code, sorry, anybody want to go back one? If not, the new QR code is here. Okay, this new QR code will be a form whereby I would like everyone to actually take 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. You scan, you do it up, and then we can go for lunch soon already. Yeah. So in this form, right, it will show you like, oh, how you want to get involved. Do you want to get involved as a trainer? Do you want to get involved as a speaker? Do you want to get involved as like, in the workshop team, all right, to come out and curate and ideate for ideas? You can do so. You want to refer people to ALG, to AGS, of course, different courses, postgrad, deep courses. You can do it so here also. Okay, 30 seconds more. People on the screen watching online also can scan through your desktop, I believe. Yeah. And then yes, should you have any other questions, should you have any other heart-burning desires to actually see how you can get involved, do actually stay back and then talk to us. What we'll do now, right, is that we'll just have a time of Q&A, maybe even Q&A for Dr. Chris as well. But if you want to actually purchase Dr. Chris' book, right, I believe the books are here. There's an individual, a lady named Green. You guys can actually go to her. She will anchor for Dr. Chris. Yeah. And yeah, Q&A time. Anybody? Feel free to ask. Yeah.
On the table, you all have the WHCP block. These are for your. Okay. These are also tools for your coaching and counseling. These are for your. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. These are for your to take home. Alright. COVID-free.
COVID-free.
President.
Yes.
So you mentioned that having a successful EAP is on the use, right? How is your EAP different from other providers?
Correct. So, ma'am, what's your name? Liz. And you are okay, HR. Fantastic. Okay, this is why we do the event today. So okay, what makes us different, right, is that we believe we are actually let me show. We actually have a few other kind of ecosystem. We have a few other systems. Not many providers out there, not many EAP providers have data-driven measured stuff. Like we said, the two disadvantages, right, is that mainly communication is very unclear, very uncertain. The EAP provider connecting to the HR, to your wellness department, right, is very in the blur one. Within that 1 year service agreement, right, you wouldn't know, like, but over there we do monthly reports. We provide the utilization rate so that you don't need to, your company don't need to waste money. most companies are actually insecure, right? When they actually approach EAP provider, they say that, can we do after counseling then they pay? We do all sorts of arrangements, we're actually quite flexible. But most commonly, right, EAP and companies, right, when they seek EAP services, they say that, can my employee actually seek counseling after counseling only, then I bill you. So it's actually very uncertain because we do need to provide allowance for our therapists as well. So we do service agreements that we actually want to, we say that, okay, in this 1 year, how many sessions do we want? It's very seamless, it's very cut, the crab chase the rat style, but of course we want to provide very credible and accurate data. Our concentration is more on data, of course in a professional and anonymous manner, but at the same time we want to make sure that all your credits that you purchase for employee counseling is utilized. And then of course we all know that Aventis Wellness and Aventis Learning Group is actually connected. ALG itself, right, has been actually doing wellness related workshops and programs since 2008. Yeah, so I do not believe any other EAP provider out there has done esteemed wellness related programs as much as ALG lah. Yeah, so I would believe that our credibility is definitely in the workshop trainings, our credibility in the bespoke talks. We accommodate, alright, different companies, they come, they say, oh, next month I want my theme, the theme of my month is to empathize better. I want all my employees to actually have a better workplace culture, to actually look up. Then we say, okay, why don't you consider PFA, psychological first aid, because it's more about, allowing the employees to take note of each other and then become like peer support, colleague support. So we do consultation, and we do actually allow companies to set themes, and then we curate and then we bespoke it. So I would say that communication is our key strength, and then affordability number one. So that's that.
Are you
I think to add on is we train our own therapy. So a lot of this therapy is about go through our own education system. So I think we have a very strong emphasis on that.
So are you targeted at Singapore or global?
Global, but right now more concentration is on the APAC region.
Right.
Yeah. APAC region, honestly, through the survey, through the insight from Dr. Chris, right? Honestly, we are lacking in certain things, even in ergonomics. Next time, right, you'll see EAP service providers, right, actually providing, changing up the whole ergonomics and the whole workplace culture inside the company. Right now, EAP is very like, okay, third party, your employee come to my counseling center, come to my service, we hold a workshop. If you want in-house, we can do it. If you want external, holiday in, we always do it as well. Yeah, so, but I believe APAC is lagging behind, especially compared to Europe, Latin America. So, but we're reaching there. Right now, Singapore is still trying to actually beat the stigma, yeah, honestly, yeah.